First to be set up. Hey, you guys, there on Facebook and Instagram. It's Wellness Wednesdays with CJ. It's your girl, Christian Jackson, and I'm excited to be here with you today, the daddy issues expert, here to give you mental health and wellness tips. Per usual, I'm here to just bring something to the table and hoping that you engage with me live or on a replay as we just talk about things that I think are really important. My charge is to make sure as a therapist that I am helping to increase access to just information, right? So these conversations are really for you to have some Q&A with me live. If you're watching a replay, then what does that look like? What do you need? What questions do you have? I'm here to answer them live with you or on the replay or in the DMs, which I get a lot of, and I really appreciate that. But if you want to bring the conversation to the table and ask questions based on your needs or things you've been thinking about, then that is totally fine. Bring it to the table so we can all discuss together, because I am a professional, right? But I do not know everything. And I love when people come on the page and they can give and offer insight from your life experiences, because although I am the daddy issues expert, you, my friends, are experts in your lives, and there is plenty for you to add to the conversation. And I'm so excited that you are here with me, whether that is live or you are watching it again, right? You can go back and get to know me. I'm a licensed therapist here in South Carolina. I've been doing this whole mental health minute thing for a year or so, and it's evolved into this huge movement, right? I'm going into a new direction. Many of you have been following me for a while. Hey, to my new supporters, get to know me. You can go back in the archives of my IGTV. I have things archived now for the last probably several months on YouTube and here on Facebook on my Couch with Christian page. Now, you may be wondering, if you're new to the page and new to me, who is she and why she call herself the daddy issues expert? It's because I wrote the books on it, you guys. Daddy Issues, How to Detangle from the Sins of Our Fathers is the book that I wrote out of emotional trauma with my relationship with my father, right? And so if I'm going to put it in a nutshell, the Daddy Issues movement, now what I'm calling it based on my books, is really a chance for us to destigmatize what it means to be a woman. Now, I came up with this new idea of kind of like trying to refer to us differently, right? Women in recovery from daddy issues. I'm trying to see if I like the way that feels coming out of my mouth. Y'all let me know. But women who are in recovery from daddy issues are not women who are just promiscuous and gold diggers and don't know what she wants and only using people. She is a woman who is recovering from emotional trauma. And my specialty is just that. I deal with people in individual therapy who are dealing with all kinds of traumas. I have training for that for years. I actually did some EMDR earlier today virtually. And if you don't know what that is, I'm going to let you know. It is an amazing, amazing therapy tool that you can use to really cut down the time and the money you spend in therapy. EMDR, because what we're doing is safely evoking memories so that you can reprocess the lies that are told. And we're going to get into that when we get into our subject tonight. So the book that I wrote is about emotional trauma, just taking that lens and that door of what does daddy issues mean? What does it look like? What other language can we give ourselves and other people who refer to us as gold diggers and promiscuous type, which I do write about in the book. So I'm giving you an idea of what daddy issues are. Women who are dealing with rejection and abandonment and relationship issues, right? Why can I connect to other people, whether that be my partner, my coworker, or my friend, or my daughter, or my son? Or what does that look like? What's getting in the way for me to have a healthy connection? And so in the book, I am building that for you. I'm defining what daddy issues are, what that means, so that we can have a framework. What does that look like if I have a relationship with my father who is abusive or was abusive on any level? What does it look like if I'm grieving him and he's passed away? What does that mean? And so we expound upon that and those two pieces, which are not in the book, in the Daddy Issues Healing Circle, which I'll get to. But the whole point of the work that I'm doing in the Daddy Issues movement is to make sure that we are working together to destigmatize and really debunk the shame that comes with daddy issues, because we're women who are dealing with a lot of identity. That was my thing, self-esteem issues. And so instead of somebody coming to you and saying, oh, well, why are you just mad at men, or you can't find a partner because you're just mad at your daddy? What else does that mean? No, I am dealing with a relationship that was really hurtful and toxic, and it didn't teach me how to love myself. That is actually emotional trauma. Like, what other language or what other things can I give to you that would be helpful for you to be able not to defend yourself, because your experience is your experience, but really to educate and hopefully speak to each other in love so we can empathize with one another. So the book is a really great tool, if I do say so myself. And you saw earlier, it's a book and a workbook because it's heavy stuff, right? I don't give you just my story, but the story of women that I've seen over the years, all the activities and self-reflection questions that we do in individual therapy that I've done over the years. I put it right here in this package. So if you're going to go get the book, I would recommend you get both. Both of them together, I like to say, is probably about a year and a half of therapy, because you have a chance to really go back and dig into some stuff. So the self-care activities are for when you read the book and you might be triggered because it's heavy stuff. You have a chance to come back and take care of yourself. And I see you guys popping in here. If you want to make yourselves known in the chat, please do so live here with me tonight. I'm just introducing myself and letting you know what it is I have been doing over the last year almost, y'all. I dropped my book and self-published it July 27, 2021, and I'm really excited about that. I really want to make sure that we are all very clear about what this means. And that is not to say that we are women who are blaming our fathers for anything. If you watched Wellness Wednesday last week, then I did talk about affirmations for women who are in recovery from daddy issues, because we are women who hold ourselves accountable, right? Hey, Jess, I see you here in the Facebook chat. So let's talk about our topic tonight. Right. I have an intern. Her name is Key. She's a lovely, amazing young woman who has challenged me to have a topic a week. This is helpful because it helps streamline what I got going on across platforms, right? So you can follow me here at Couch with Christian on Instagram, on Facebook, at my Facebook business page, as well as now my YouTube page, right? You see the information scrolling at the bottom, couchwithchristian.com, where you can find my blog. You can find out how to connect with me on my other socials, and you can also connect with me with commenting there, right? And so I have blog posts you can catch up on. You can join my email list. I have all kinds of things going on. You guys are literally watching the grassroots movement of Couch with Christian and help me kind of get everything off the ground, which I'm really excited about. And so at my website, you can also engage with each other. So let's use it as a tool for us to do so. So cohesively, right, you'll see this live as a blog post, most likely. And tonight we're going to be talking about courage. Like I said, I love to engage with people. And so one of the accounts that I follow and have been engaged with for over a year, her name is Positivity123. You can go and find what she put as the working definition for courage tonight. And I'm going to abbreviate it because I think that we all need to kind of have the same working definition. And if you have something live tonight that you want to share as the definition of what courage really means and why it's important and how you conceptualize that definition or that term, please drop it in the chat. What does courage mean to you and why is it important? The working definition for tonight, if you're watching here on Facebook, you can see it on the screen. Courage means doing something despite the presence of fear. And I want to tell you guys, as a woman in recovery from daddy issues, right? And I like to say daddy issues symptoms go in remission, right? So when you buy my book and you look in the first couple of pages and I'm defining what daddy issue symptoms are, you'll see identity issues is kind of part of that. Self-esteem, lack of trust in ourselves. And I'm on a new business venture where I am really literally challenging every piece of me. Right? I'm putting myself out there in a huge way. And I like to take a selfie and be on my IG with my family and things like that. But when you are doing something you believe in, you're not really sure if everybody's going to come with you. At least my story is that I question myself. And then when you read my story in my book, the Daddy Issues book, I am sharing that a lot of my daddy issues really kind of culminated in this experience where I did not know who I was. And so I didn't have much to stand on, and I didn't have a value piece that I really thought was informative of the decision that I wanted to make. So my lack of confidence made sense, right? I didn't trust myself. So courage is a huge, huge piece of trusting ourselves. I'm going to wrap up with that later tonight. But a huge piece of this is making sure that you understand that I'm with you. I really want you to know when I'm talking about courage to you guys, I am talking to myself. So all these things I'm doing in my business, and I'm using myself as an example, I've been so fearful of. I did a photo shoot and I felt cute, but I was putting the pictures out and it was like, oh my God, I think people are going to like it, but is it too much of me on your timeline, or are people going to unfollow me? And I have all these things going on in my mind. I'm worrying about how people are going to receive me, if you understand the message and why. Are you engaging? Are you not? Should I put stuff out because I'm not getting the response I'm doing? I believe wholeheartedly in the movement, right? But I'm fearful. And I keep telling my friends who are saying that, Christian, you're looking great and this is looking amazing and all this stuff, that I am scared to death most of the time. And so courage means doing things even though you feel the fear. And one of my good friends, Malik, shout out to you, he had to check me and say, why would you think that you're doing these things sans fear? you're going to be nervous, right? You're going to be kind of scared about what's going on, but you do it anyway. We're human and we're wired to have some kind of healthy level of anxiety, right? That's how you know that something is going on. So I wanted to talk tonight about barriers to courage. Courage obviously help us get things done. We do things anyway. We're going to do these things despite what people think, as long as we believe in it. And I have Rachel here in the Instagram chat. I wanted to share with you what she's saying, and thank you for your comment. Believing in yourself despite your present challenges is courage. I love that. And this is what the seems like the theme and the pattern of tonight is. Despite, you do it anyway, right? And so if we're talking about things that get in the way of courage, because when I'm doing individual therapy, a lot of what I'm doing when we're talking about change, because you're going to therapy because you want to make a change, right? Pieces of that include looking at the things that are getting in your way. We can't necessarily make the change or have the results that we want to make unless we know what pitfalls keep coming up, those patterns and cycles. And one of those things is anxiety. And that's exactly what I was talking about in the beginning when I was telling you my story about my new business venture, and really putting myself out there and putting myself behind my movement, even if I am the only one here riding for the daddy issues movement, right? Anxiety, that is excessive worrying about worrying. I feel it in my body. I'm a little tense all the time. I can't calm down. I question myself. Maybe my appetite changes. Those are all literally in the DSM-5, which are the symptoms that I list when I'm diagnosing someone. Sis, you may have generalized anxiety disorder. How long have you been feeling all these things? No wonder you don't want to take that step, that leap of faith, right? As we like to call it, because you are in your head. You're ruminating on things that likely will not even happen. They're not logical. They don't even make no damn sense. But here we are. And positivity, thank you for joining in Instagram live here. I was literally just saying your working definition, which you commented earlier on the page about doing things afraid, not letting fear stop you, is the definition of courage. So thank you, sis, for even inspiring that working definition for tonight. Y'all go check out her page. And so what we were talking about was what is getting in the way of courage, and that is excessive worry. And so what I like to do is keep things short and sweet. And so I want to move on to the other major barrier to courage. What gets in the way of you actually doing that thing afraid? What is it that you're doing that is keeping you in the throes of fear and letting it stop you from doing something? If we're talking about courage and how important it is to make that next step, despite what's coming up, right? Believing in yourself, like Rachel said, and just doing it despite your circumstances. It's the naysayers, right? We have not only anxiety here, which is us ruminating in our thoughts for lack of like a long definition and just kind of letting it just drive us nuts. We are our own worst enemies, probably our very first barrier. So we're dealing with ourselves, but then also we're dealing with naysayers or just people around us, right? So right positivity, our inner voice keeps us down, right? And kind of has us questioning whether we are trusting ourselves or worth the move that we want to make. But we also have people outside of us. So we got to talk about who we have in our circle. Who is it that you are rolling with, right? So lately, because I'm making the different business moves and I am trying new things and like throwing everything to the wall and seeing what sticks and trying to come up with a strategy and a system, that takes courage because I'm doing it not knowing what the outcome is going to be. I'm believing in myself and the movement, but then I have to do that with certain people around me that are either doing the same things, right? So community is so important. And there's a blog dropping on Monday that I'm going to put on my website. If you want to join my mail list, go to my website and you can do that. But the people around you, are they the ones with the same goals? Do they have the same values as you? Do they have the experiences that you have? Do they have the same drive? That makes a really big difference because just like positivity was saying, our inner voice sometimes is influenced by the people who are around us. And I've talked about this before on Wellness Wednesdays, as well as in my blogs. The critic, right? The critic is the inner voice that you've heard likely since childhood. And for women in recovery with daddy issues, let's just use us as an example. For me, it was my dad for a little while. So if I was doing something, no matter what it was always not like a, wagging finger, but I would always, even if you're just going back to say, oh, what would daddy say? Or what would he think? Would I get in trouble? Would he judge me? Would he love me? Am I performing for his approval, right? So that's why it's so important for us to have these conversations about things like daddy issues, right? Because that may be the naysayer. that may be the person who directly or indirectly discouraged you from doing a thing despite your fear. So you got to check the people who are around you. So we looked at the first two things. Anxiety is a barrier to you really tapping into your courage, as well as the naysayers. So if we're going to talk about the last little piece of what it is that gets in the way of us tapping into our courage. I talked about this even earlier today. The third piece I'm going to give you tonight is giving up our power. If you have any idea what I even mean by that, you can go ahead and drop that in the comments, whether you're watching live here with me today and I see you guys trickling in, or on the replay. What do I mean by that? Giving up our power. Why is that something that is going to get in the way of you using your courage? I like to say that if I'm going to use the business example, right? And thank you, Positivity, for your comment. Like-minded individuals. I'm in business. I'm around like-minded individuals who are influencing me and impacting me. But still, I have to put myself out there because it's my name on the business, right? And so if I put something out there and I am waiting for something to stick, whether it was me dropping my book last year or the healing circle that's ramping up in a couple of weeks here again, what does that mean? Like, am I only going to be okay because people are responding and engaging and liking and sharing and paying for my books and buying the spot in the Daddy Issues Healing Circle? Is that the only way I'm going to be okay? Is that the only reason why I have the courage? And I'm going to put it in quotes because what I'm alluding to is that type of courage. If it's contingent upon the power you give outside of yourself, then that's not going to be sustainable and it's not going to help, right? That's something that you really want to make sure you are taking time to check in with yourself about. Is it that you are brave? I'm going to say quote unquote, right? Because you saw somebody else like your page, or that you made a certain amount of money this month based on your business, or whatever it may be. Do you have the power only because Daddy said that you were amazing and that you got straight A's and that he approves of your partner? Is that the only reason why you're brave enough to tell your dad that you're getting married because he approves of it? Is it because you took this job because he said so, right? And I'm only talking about daddy issues because, of course, that's the lane that I'm in, right? And I really want you to kind of put these things together. Courage is influenced by the people that we're around. Who are you giving the power to, and what is getting in the way of you even accessing and understanding, identifying your own courage, right? So it's so important for you to know these few things, the anxiety that gets in the way. How are you addressing that? Are you joining a support group? Are you in therapy? Do you have like-minded individuals, right, who are around and telling you encouraging things? Or are they the naysayers? Are you giving up your power? How are you doing this? And thank you, Carmen Sandy, for saying that this is giving you life. Is totally on topic because I really want us to feel encouraged while we're having this conversation. And that there is power, Zoe, on XOXO on Instagram. Thank you for commenting that there is power through validation. So is the only reason why you feel powerful because of the validation? That is the piece we really have to tap into. And I'm so excited for this opportunity to have this platform. I have therapists to follow, and I follow them. And you guys have so many empowering things to say when it comes to what you are doing to make sure that you are your number one fan, and not my daddy, not my sister, not my brother, not my mom, right? Because what I will say is when I wrote the books, I, of course, uncovered some mommy issues, right? And I get asked all the time, sis, when you going to write this mommy issues book? Like, I'm ready for that to pop off because I got some of that going on. So you guys let me know what you want me to say, and I'll write it for you. I'll lead your group. I'll come to your seminar, do your workshop, and talk about what gets in the way of not only you achieving your goals, but that really crucial piece, courage. And I don't want to sound like an after school special, but you guys know that a lot of the things that we learned growing up, the fundamental pieces were the most simple, and we ignore those things, right? I have the courage to come on here every Wednesday, whether I got a full face on or not, right? And come talk to you guys because I believe in my movement. And I believe in what I'm trying to do, which is to give access to people to mental health and wellness tips and really engaging with other people who want to be well and heal themselves. I have an opportunity, if you are interested, not only to go to my website, check me out, peruse, see what I got going on. Let me know what you would like to see more of at couchwithchristian.com. You can go to my LinkedIn profile, Christian Jackson, and check me out there. But you can go on the link in my bio. Couchwithchristian.com is right there. Everything's laid out up for you on Instagram, and you can see it scrolling at the bottom here on Facebook and YouTube. Couch is Christian. I don't know where she's going. I don't know where God's going to take her. But what I do know is in a couple of weeks, we are going to be resuming the Daddy Issues Healing Circle. If you're new to my page or just a new supporter in general, the Daddy Issues Healing Circle is an amazing opportunity. Hey, Talkspace, you guys. I missed you guys. You have an opportunity to do the workbook with me live. And so I ended the round with 6 women about end of June, right? We did 8 weeks where we worked through the workbook. And this stuff is so chock full of stuff, y'all, that I had to condense the workbook in order to do the Daddy Issues Healing Circle and kind of condense it into a week, because I really could keep y'all forever. And I really don't like to, because I know people have lives and we need to be able to make things more effective by breaking it up in chunks. Daddy Issues Healing Circle is an 8-week group opportunity for you to meet with me virtually. You do not have to be in the state of South Carolina. We meet virtually every week for about 2 hours. It was originally 90 minutes, but the women were like, nah, sis, we need more time. And we work through and chew through everything in that book. You hear me? And so not only do they have access to each other once a week in the group, but there is a private VIP Daddy Issues Healing Circle that you can't even search. You have to be invited to this group if you are an official member of the actual live Daddy Issues Healing Circle, because that's where we have access to each other, where we're dropping the memes and the podcasts and the books and all the things that can help us enhance the things that we're talking about. And so I am so excited to offer that again, because I know that the last time it was a pilot and it really gave me so much life, and I had an opportunity to enhance what I've already written, right? There are women out here who want to be more than okay, and they want to pour into themselves, and the group experience allows us to do that. It allows us to pour into ourselves. So if you were on the fence about the Daddy Issues Healing Circle, ask yourself about that courage. Do you have the courage to join this community of women, of strangers who literally feel like other people that you was down with because you told them things you didn't think you would want to ever tell anyone? Do you have the courage to do that? I can tell you 100%, every group I've led outside of my own, I always see people become like this and bond over the things that they were able to overcome together. Do you have the courage to invest in yourself? It is $10.97 to join my group. $1,097 to get your welcome packet, 2 hours a week for 8 weeks. You get VIP status for the retreat and or the conference I'm going to be giving you guys. And you also, hopefully at one point you get VIP status. And of course you get the group and the workbooks, and you get tools to really manage your anxiety. There is so much going on in the healing circle. And do you have the courage to invest in yourself, to build this community, to have lifetime access to this resource? Do you have the courage to say, you know what, I can step out here without getting my hair done every 2 weeks and make this sacrifice, which is going to enhance and sustain what you need to be true in your life and really feel good about yourself? Do you have the courage to do it anyway? To spend this time and invest yourself in this way? Do you have the courage? Y'all see the theme, right? We don't know what the outcome is going to be. And whatever you do, whatever you put into your group experience, whatever you do, you're going to get what you put out of it times 10, especially because you're not only pulling on me, but you're pulling on all the women. And that's what Jessica is saying in the IG chat. It's an amazing community. You get me, the Daddy Issues expert, but you also get other experts in the group. Like I said, y'all are the experts of your lives. And there is so much to be talked about and discussed in the Daddy Issues Healing Circle. You can go to my website, to the bottom of the home page. You can watch a quick video of what I have to say about the healing circle, even beyond this. You can go back and read what I have to say or watch what I have to say on my archives, and look at different testimonials. About 2 or 3 weeks ago, I actually interviewed one of the women who was in the Daddy Issues Healing Circle so that she can give you live, raw content and just feedback about what she thought about the Daddy Issues Healing Circle. It begins again in about 2 weeks, right? 2.5 weeks. I'll be starting it up again with a new group of women, and I hope that's going to be you. So what I like to do is set up a consultation. Y'all hit me up on my website. I will send you a link that says this is a good time for us to have a quick video chat, because I want to make sure that everyone is catching each other's vibes and that we're safe. That is what I can't do, is I can't take off my counselor hat. I got to make sure everybody's okay and equipped and ready to be doing this work, right? So you don't have to know how to do group. That is also a fear of some people's. you just have the courage to do it anyway and take that leap to invest in yourselves. I can guarantee that at the very least, you're going to get an awareness that will take you far, far, far in your healing process, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're getting a lot more traction with people being here live, and I'm really excited about that. I don't necessarily know what I'm doing, but y'all share. You let everybody know that I'm here. Send them my way. And yes, I'm ready to pay you to send somebody to the Healing Circle who signs up. That is not spam. It's not a joke, y'all. If you're a therapist, for you right now, if you send someone that you know will be a good fit for the Daddy Issues Healing Circle, I'm giving you $100, period. It's not spam. That is a thank you in advance for your work in advancing what we are trying to do as healers and offering this resource to your clients. Y'all, thank you. This has been so great. Be on the lookout for a new blog coming out Monday and some new exclusive information about something I have coming up and I'm offering live in the next couple of weeks. If you want to join my email list, you can go to my website and go ahead and give me your information. I'll be happy to connect. And thank you, Kelly. I know what I'm doing. I just have to believe it, right? We're all trying to work on that space. And for y'all on Instagram, one of my friends is saying, I need to stop saying that I don't know what I'm doing. I'm doing it. And that's really all that matters, right? Doing it despite knowing what the outcome is going to be. That is courage. And thank you, Kelly, for that comment, because I'm going to just end on that. I appreciate you. That's what having a good tribe means, y'all. That's what it means to negate the naysayers. Y'all are amazing, and I'll see you next week. Bye.